How Not to Diet by Dr. Michael Greger. In today's video, I'll go into the structure of this book as well as the contents, who I think this book is for, and my main takeaways. As always, there are timestamps in this video, so feel free to skip around and watch what interests you the most. Let's get started. First, let's talk a little bit about the author, Dr. Michael Greger. For those of you who don't know him, he's a physician and the founder of NutritionFacts.org and a multi-best-selling author of not just How Not to Diet, but also How Not to Die, among other books. I personally study for a master's in clinical nutrition, and I find his resources, his website, as well as his books very valuable in terms of research because everything that he recommends is rooted in scientific evidence. Let's look at the structure of this book. The book starts with the problem in mind, which are the rising rates of obesity, the consequences of falling into the obese category, as well as the current medical solutions to combat obesity. And chapter number 2 is about the ingredients of the perfect weight loss diet. Dr. Greger goes through different food categories and points out what to eat more of, what to eat less of, why, of course, it's all backed in science, as well as the effect certain foods and food groups have on our body. And chapter number 3 is about the optimal weight loss diet, which kind of include all the previous learnings about the food groups, all condensed in one smaller chapter. My favorite chapter, however, is chapter number 4, where he goes into weight loss boosters, which are small tips and tricks of things you can personally implement in your diet as well as in your lifestyle, like small habits that can increase your metabolism as well as boost your weight loss success. Things like when to eat or how to eat will be discussed in this chapter. And chapter number 5 is all about Dr. Greger's 21 tweaks, which is a list you could technically hang on your fridge to tick off like the daily dozen checklist on small things you can incorporate and do to have more weight loss success. What I really love about this book is it really focuses not on reducing calories and exercising more, which is more the regular diet approach. This is truly a book for long-term weight loss success and changing your lifestyle to a sustainable and healthy one that can serve you over the years. And that is the perfect transition to talk about who this book is for, or who I think this book is for. I think this book is for people who want to stop reading dieting books, and that sounds very counter-effective because this is a dieting book. However, it is rooted in science, and that means you don't have to read 1,000 of different approaches because this is the best available science at the moment when it comes to weight loss. All the information you need to live a happy, healthy lifestyle at a healthy BMI is in here. Obviously, you don't have to adhere to all these things and small tweaks. It's all about education, knowing what works, and then deciding what fits into your lifestyle. And that is the approach that I personally took on my life as well, and I had tremendous success with that. So don't be afraid of the big read. It is fairly easy to skip through it as it's really nicely structured with chapters and specific content. So for example, if you read through the contents in the beginning and you're like, oh, I want to know more today about fat blockers, I'll just go to page 383, have a read around and see if I like the information. This is truly a book for everyone who's just done trying different things and being on a yo-yo diet non-stop. It is truly life-changing in my humble opinion. Now let me share with you some of my personal takeaways from this book. Main takeaway number 1 is whole foods for the win when it comes to satiety and feeling full. Because without sufficient fiber transporting nutrients all the way down our digestive tract, we may never feel fully satisfied. Which is important when it comes to sustainable weight loss, because if we don't feel fully satisfied, we tend to eat more, and hence we go back into that hamster wheel of eating more than we truly need and gaining weight because of that. And number 2, fructose that comes in a package of fruit is not only not harmful but also beneficial, because the problems associated with fructose and sugar are in general when they are added to processed foods. So if you indulge in fruit and you love fruit, don't restrict it, because it's not just harmless but also described as beneficial in almost any amount. And number 3 is avoid or minimize saturated fat, even if it's plant-based, especially coconut oil, because the single most pro-inflammatory food component is saturated fat, and the single most anti-inflammatory food component is fiber. So if you like coconuts and you like coconut oil, maybe just try to stick with real coconuts. And if you want to indulge in some saturated fat treats like donuts, try to minimize that and eat whole foods around the day to increase the fiber content to combat the inflammation. And number 4, try to eat beans or lentils every single day, because meals featuring beans can disproportionately delay the return of hunger, which scientists call the lentil effect or the second meal effect. So think bean burrito, think lentil wraps, think hummus, or other delicious foods that incorporate legumes. because they are truly the star, together with fruit, when it comes to sustained weight loss. And number 5, try to remain active during the day. Try not to stay seated for more than an hour without getting up once. This is a little bit of a hard one for me because I work in front of a computer, I study and research most of my days all day long, so taking 5 minutes every hour and actually setting the alarm to get up and get a refill of drinks, or maybe just go out for like a free breeze of fresh air, is something I made a habit nowadays. Because these 5-minute breaks every hour can prevent the stiffening of the arteries that come with prolonged sitting. Plus it also helps to refresh the brain in some sort to help you with concentration. So if it's possible for you, give this a go. If you're excited about this book and want to get your hands on it, you can try to find it in your local library or buy it secondhand. Or if you want to use my Amazon affiliate link, it is in the description below. It will cost you no more than it would usually cost you, and you would support this channel if you like. Now if you learned anything new, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more healthy, easy recipes as well as nutritional insights. I see you in my next one if you like. Take care. Bye! 7